offseason continues here on a Ravens Rundown, but we're still looking ahead to the start of the 2024 season as we will take a look at the updated depth chart for the Baltimore Ravens. How do things stack up with the 90-man roster? We'll go through every single position. I'll give you my takeaways and more. Now that the draft is concluded, free agency has slowed down. We'll catch you up on everything you need to know here on this edition of Ravens Rundown in just a moment. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for stopping by. I want to gauge the flock one quick moment before we get today's show started. I'm very curious. What do you guys love about the Baltimore Ravens? What makes you a Baltimore Ravens fan? Did you grow up a fan? Is it your friends or family? Is it something about this team specifically? Are you from Baltimore? What is it that makes you a member of the Ravens flock? Way in the comment section. I'm just very curious. Let me know what you love about the Baltimore Ravens. We'll get started with today's show. The Ravens QBs include Lamar Jackson as QB1, of course. Josh Johnson, currently the QB2 spot, while Devin Leary, the new rookie out of Kentucky, is the QB3 out of the sixth round, while Malik Cunningham holds the QB4 spot. Now, what I find fascinating here is Todd Monken finally got the pocket backup quarterback he was wanting. That's all we've heard about over the last year plus was that Todd Monken wasn't a fan of Tyler Huntley. He's not a big fan of Josh Johnson, that he would rather have a true pocket quarterback be his guy to back up Lamar Jackson. Devin Leary, although I'm not a huge fan of Devin Leary, I think he got worse while he was in college from NC State to Kentucky and really just regressed. It'll be interesting to see what Todd Monken can do to work with him. And I would fully expect that because he likely has Monken's endorsement, that when the season begins, he'll work his way up to that number 2 QB job. If he can't put it all together, then Leary could get cut before training camp. That's what we're looking at. He could find his way into a very comfortable position to be QB2, or he could just simply find himself without a job. A lot of pressure on Devin Leary. We'll find out pretty quick if he's the guy or not to be the number 2 QB. Who do you believe is the number 2 quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? Is it Josh Johnson, type JJ? Is it Devin Leary, type DL? Is it Malik Cunningham? I think Cunningham's more of a receiver, to be honest. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section, our pinned comment today, who you believe the backup quarterback should be. The backfield for the Baltimore Ravens, this group is stacked. Led by Derrick Henry. He'll be your starting running back when the season begins. Keaton Mitchell at the RB2 spot. And a little banged up. We'll see when he makes his return. But when he does make his return, he'll certainly play a pivotal role in this Ravens offense. Justice Hill is back. Patrick Ricard is back. And Rasheen Ali, we'll see how high he could move up the depth chart. The rookie out of Marshall. A lot of high hopes for him of what he could potentially bring to Baltimore. The receiver room, led by Zay Flowers off of an outstanding rookie season in 2023. What does he have for an encore? We'll find out. He's also been cleared of any legal wrongdoing as well. Will not be suspended by the NFL, so he's in good shape. Rashad Bateman is moved up to the number 2 receiver role with the departure of Odell Beckham Jr., and he's got a new contract as well. A lot to prove for Rashad Bateman to see if he can be that guy. Nelson Aguilar had a nice year last year, surprised a lot of people. Good value for the lack of money that he is making. And then you got some others like Tylan Wallace and company here. I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if the Baltimore Ravens ultimately make a move for an additional wide receiver before the season begins. They spent a 4th-round pick on Tez Walker, but I think Tez is more of a project. I don't think Tez at the moment is in line to make a big impact this year. And I don't know if I feel comfortable with the idea of Rashad Bateman being my number 2 receiver. When you factor in the inconsistencies and the injury history there, I think there's still a good chance that we see a trade. Whether it's a Cortland Sutton or a Brandon Ayuk, somebody, watch out. The Ravens, I think, are still waiting to make their move potentially for an additional receiver to that receiver room there. We'll see. So, let's ask you, should the Ravens add another wide receiver to this group? Y for yes, N for no. Way in the comment section. Let us know what you think. I lean towards yes. Let me know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking rebounds in basketball. Maybe it is fantasy points in NASCAR, birdies in golf, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. I'm looking ahead to the start of the NFL season. I got our guy Lamar Jackson to have more than 3,600.5 passing yards. DK Metcalf to have more than 1,025.5 receiving yards. I put $20 down. Both these hit. That's going to turn into $60 on Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match on your first entry. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Download Prize Picks today, and you'll be glad you did. To the tight end room, Mark Andrews is back after missing most of the final quarter of the season last year. He should be 100% healthy and ready to go. Isaiah Likely did an outstanding job filling in for Mark Andrews while he was out. Charlie Collier, I'm still optimistic about that he could find himself in a good role and make for the best tight end room here in the National Football League, but I'm not writing off Collier just yet. The offensive line has undergone some massive changes entering 2024. Ronnie Stanley still your starting left tackle, while Roger Rosengarten, the second-round rookie out of Washington, should be your starting right tackle, a position he played last year for the Washington Huskies. And then some newcomers as well. We see Andrew Voorhees, the left guard who was out all of last year, the sixth-round pick from USC. He should be the favorite to be the starting left guard. Ben Cleveland, who's been around a minute with that beard and all, looking like he's from Duck Dynasty, he should be starting at right guard. And Tyler Linderbaum, the Pro Bowl center, is back as well. And I got to give credit where credit's due. There was a lot of question marks, a lot of concerns about this offensive line entering this offseason with losing starters like Zietler and Simpson and company. But credit to EDC and John Harbaiugh. I think you've come out of this situation doing some pretty good damage control despite the depleted offensive line. I'd say it's worked out pretty well for the Baltimore Ravens with all things considered at this point here. A job well done indeed. Let's go to the defense now. Let's start with the defensive line here. Brent Urban at the defensive end spot. Michael Pierce at nose tackle. Justin Madubuike, the starting defensive tackle. And you got some depth pieces there as well. Washington, Jones, Nichols, and Moore should make for a fantastic group. Madubuike trying to build off of his All-Pro season in 2023. For more Ravens coverage, you got to subscribe to the channel for the latest happenings in your favorite team as we're bringing you daily news and rumors. We are also getting you ready for rookie minicamp, OTAs, counting you down to training camp, and more. We got you covered each and every day here on Ravens Rundown. Never miss a moment. If the Ravens make a move, if they add a player to this said depth chart, we're going to make a video and we're going to talk about it here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/RavensTV. Lock us in. You'll be glad you did. All right, to the linebacker room we go. And there is a big change here. As you can see with no Patrick Queen, Trenton Simpson is the prohibited favorite to be the new starting right inside linebacker replacing Patrick Queen. But we've been told that job isn't finalized yet. It's still a competition with Board and Simpson and others going for that position. Kyle Van Noy is back after a very good year last year. Dafe Owe, the Ravens just extended his fifth-year option, so coming off a season with 5 sacks, should be interesting to see what type of role he takes on. Of course, the best inside linebacker in all of football, Roquan Smith, is there as well. Pressure's on Trenton Simpson right away in replacing Patrick Queen. We're going to find out pretty fast if he's the guy or not, because at times last year, the small sample size we saw of Trenton Simpson, he looked like a deer in headlights. He looked lost out there. He's got to put it together pretty fast. Otherwise, the Ravens have other options that they'll potentially turn to. Let's go to the cornerback room now, and you can see a lot of names on there. You might have to look closely to see all those names. Marlon Humphrey at the left corner spot. Nate Wiggins, we are projecting, will be the day one starter at right corner, surpassing Brandon Stevens. Maybe we see Stevens potentially play some nickelback potentially, but at least for now, we believe that Nate Wiggins is going to be the guy day one. Should be a competition, no doubt about it, but you spent a high pick on Nate Wiggins. You weren't expecting him to even be there at 30. He's the future. I think the future starts now. Nate Wiggins is ultimately going to win that job. TJ Tampa, I'm excited about as well. I think you'll see him have a pretty significant role in this Ravens defense. I'd watch out for him to potentially compete for time at the nickel position as well. But a very loaded corner room here in 2024 that should be able to hang with any offense in football. And we've talked a lot about comparing themselves with Kansas City. I like the Ravens defense to be able to hold their own against that high-powered Kansas City offense and what they offer, especially in that cornerback room now. Who should start at outside corner? Is it the rookie, the Rook, Nate Wiggins? Type in W. Is it Brandon Stevens? Are you saying that's not BS? Let's go Brandon, and type BS in the comment section. If it's not BS, let us know which one you believe should be the starting corner. The safety spots, no real major changes. Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams are your starters. Geno Stone is gone, of course, but watch out for Kane and Washington to see what they could potentially do in those roles. We know the Ravens are going to want to play some three high safety looks at times, too. Special teams, best special teams unit in the National Football League. Tucker and Stout are back. Justice Hill, your primary kick returner. Tylan Wallace, your primary punt returner. And watch out for Deonte Harty, who the Ravens picked up in free agency, an explosive returner. And with this new kickoff formula, you'll see two kick returners out at a time, so he'll get plenty of run as well. How would you grade the Ravens depth chart? Now that you've seen it in all its glory, I think it's a pretty good roster, if I say so myself. I go A or A minus. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Tyler Jones Live for more Ravens coverage. I will see you next time. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Ravens Run.